Interesting. So, one of the last things I want to ask you about is what's it like to drive for Fetti, right? Because, I've done a few Uber and Lyft trips in my day. It's normally, one or two, sometimes three or four, sometimes six people try to squeeze in. So what's it like to drive for Fetti? And, of course, every driver wants to know how much can you make too?
Yeah, so the cool thing about our model and our business is that essentially because of the high amount of users that we're able to transport, we're able to
Mhm.
generate substantially more revenue in one trip versus other ride sharing options, which makes our driver economics much more favorable,
Yeah.
right? So our drivers are earning substantial money. We like to say that if you're driving on Fetti, you're generating revenue before expenses, about 7,000 a month, right?
Hmm.
Of course, that's different in different markets, times of days, times of the years. But what's really unique and really cool about it is that our drivers have, such a fun environment, right? And so
Hmm.
they're ensuring that these groups get to where they need to go, and
Yeah.
you're not just dealing with one passenger or two passengers, which also plays into the safety factor,
Yeah.
right? So
That's true.
a lot of trips are just inherently much safer because you're dealing with a group and not
Yeah.
one person who you never know the
Hmm.
situation, right?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I know safety has obviously been a big issue for drivers lately. And, it sort of flips the model, right? Because normally Friday, Saturday nights, that's kind of like when it's like most unsafe, right? People are
Right.
drinking. And, so now it's like an interesting opportunity to go out. Obviously, you probably want to be a people person and, be ready for groups. But I mean, I guess that actual drivers, right? They might be, how does the model work? Are they going through the DSP and paying typically like a weekly rental fee and then they get to keep everything on top of it? Or how does that part work?
Exactly. So they pay a weekly rental fee for the vehicle. They keep it at their place of residence most of the
Hmm.
time. They essentially utilize it and keep it to generate revenue by servicing our users, and they keep the revenue on it. And what's really cool also that we didn't touch on is our tipping factor, right?
Mm,
So the cool thing is with traditional ride sharing, typically the booker is the only one who has the option to tip
yeah.
the driver. Whereas for Fetti, you're getting 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 people who have the ability to tip because they checked in, which
Yeah.
increases tips substantially for
Yeah.
our drivers. There's just another factor, and we like to do that. We like to ensure that our drivers are being taken care of, obviously.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I know that we've highlighted a few marijuana delivery companies here in California, and that's one of the things. I mean, we'll sometimes see $50 tips or $100 tips, right? Because people are ordering like a high ticket value, $100 worth of weed, and then they're high and paying, tipping a bunch of money too, and they're very thankful, right? So it's kind of cool that you kind of, I guess, like increase the surface area of potential people who can tip. So it might be a few bucks, it might be more, if
Yeah.
someone's feeling generous. But I like that. So if I'm a driver, it's basically like I'm going to go and pay a weekly rental fee, and so normally you can rent a car for 200-300 bucks a week for rideshare. I'm assuming this is obviously going to be more. Is it like more in the 500 or 600 range? What does it cost to usually rent one of these things,
Yeah.
ballpark?
Typically, average cost actually is 350 a week.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay.
Yeah, not at all.
For a 15 passenger van, they rent it for 350 a week. And then, I guess if you're renting it, this is kind of more of a job for full-time drivers. They want to kind of maximize the use of it and drive during the busiest times and places, which, like you said, are going to be Friday, Saturday nights, rush hour, things like that.
Yeah, exactly. And as we're growing our corporate leg, we're seeing a lot of weekday
Mm,
demand as well. And what's really cool is that we have such a low turnover rate because they don't typically want to go back. So a lot of our drivers are ex full-time Uber and Lyft drivers
yeah.
who give Fetti a shot and find that inherently they're earning more. It's much safer and it's a better experience. And so that's been really fortunate to see, and we're happy with that.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. And I mean, I think one of the things I'm always trying to highlight is sort of for folks who are in the gig economy, it's like, hey, if you've got a lot of experience, you really know what you're doing, how do you graduate to the next level? So I think highlighting, opportunities like this is cool because they don't always get that from the gig companies. So I guess if I was in Austin, I'd be ready to sign up and try it out. But where are you guys operating right now? Is it just Austin?
Yeah, so we're in Austin, College Station, Texas, and Lubbock, Texas.
Okay.
College Station, home of Texas A&M University, where I went to. That was kind of our beta city launch where we first started, and in Austin. And now we're looking to expand with expansion cities being announced here soon.
Cool. So